to live with a guy who cheated on his girlfriend constantly. I mean, like 24/8. As soon as she left for work, a girl was in. She would pop to Sainsbury's to do a shop and he'd have the neighbour over for a quickie. It was actually kind of insane. And when I first moved in, it was me and my boyfriend and her boyfriend. In the first month or so, I sort of thought she knew. Because he was so brazen and did it so often, I couldn't comprehend how she couldn't know that this roster of regular women and the occasional random woman would come into our house all of the time. Because the girls would leave stuff. They would leave stuff in the kitchen, they would leave makeup. At one point she came to me with size 8 underwear and was like, "Are these yours?" Well, I look like I wear size 8 underwear. The other thing was, and this is graphic, so I'm so sorry, but his boss and her boss, who he used to bring over regularly, she would make a mess. And he would love it when she made a mess. And I did most of the washing for the house, so he starts trying to give me these sheets. And I tell him, like, I am not putting that in with my clothes. Those sheets need a boil wash away from everything else. So when his girlfriend came home from the gym or wherever she was, and she's like, "Oh, why didn't Pia put the wash in with her clothes?" He tells her he had a nap when he was feeling anxious and the bed. So then she would clean his messy sheets after he cheated on her. At some point, I didn't tell her directly he was cheating, but I heavily inferred it. I wasn't sure at this point if she was in denial or if she really just did not know. He realizes, has a meltdown, like the meltdown of all meltdowns. She smashed everything he owns. Holes in the wall, Hulk smashing up our house. The next day, I actually went to make pancakes, and as I was putting sugar on my pancake, I found glass in the sugar. At that point, I realized she'd smashed everything in the kitchen, including all of my stuff. Next time I saw her, she screamed at me that she hated me. I was so confused because I told you. This couple got back together and they both hated me. Him because I guess I told her, and her because I don't know. I don't know if he gaslit her into thinking he didn't cheat and she thought I was lying. That's the only reason it would make sense that she would hate me. But we lived in the same house and she didn't speak to me for 8 weeks. He slept with our neighbours, his ex-girlfriends, his friends, her friends. One of the people he was sleeping with before she caught him and after was their boss, who was a married woman twice our age with young kids, and every time she heard my boyfriend downstairs in an open area, she would like run down in her underwear to get a glass of water or something. She really wanted my boyfriend to look at her, but she wasn't the best dressed cougar. She was in like nude bras and nude granny pants all the time. This woman's name was really similar to his girlfriend's name. For an example, I'm gonna say they're called Anna and Anna. And Anna was around so often that we started messing up her name with Anna. Genuine accident, but at this point Anna almost lived at the house as much as Anna did, just in much uglier underwear. Anna catches on to this and she's suspicious because she knows that her boyfriend is good friends with their boss. At this point, I told her that he was cheating on her and she responded by not speaking to me for 8 weeks, smashing my stuff and telling me she hates me. So as much as I hate Anna being around, I'm not getting involved. Then one day we're having a little party, drinks are flowing, it's both couples and we have some other people over as well. Something happens at the party where Anna, the girlfriend, finds something. I genuinely can't remember now if it was an earring or a bracelet, something like that, but something that she knows categorically is Anna's. She's asking everyone in the house, "Does this belong to you?" And everyone's being like, "No." My boyfriend comes over to me and tells me to tell her it's mine. I say, "Hell no, no." She continues to have this breakdown because she has now realized that he is having an affair with Anna, her boss, let alone all the other women, but her boss. She's screaming and crying. She then, while manically screaming, runs out of the house to find her phone that she has just chucked in a bush somewhere. And this girl is actually currently going through a divorce. So I knew Anna had a husband she was separated from. They were selling the house together. It was all on good terms. I knew this man was like her childhood sweetheart and she'd known him for 10 years and everyone else wanted to call the police, but I was like, seeing what she was going through, I wanted the police to be a last resort. I didn't want it to affect her job. I didn't want her to get in trouble because of the way she was acting, because the police don't always take kindly to people having mental breakdowns. So I pick up her phone and I say, "Hey Siri, call her husband."
I'm still having problems with the connection.
He answers the phone and I say, "Hi, I'm Pia. I live with Anna and I'm really worried about her. We need to find her now before we call the police." He says, "What do you mean you live with Anna?" And then he says, "Are you in a totally different part of the country?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in Surrey. I'm where Anna lives." And he's like, "Can I have a postcode?" And I was like, "Yeah." She told me this guy was her best friend even though they'd separated, so I didn't understand how he didn't know where she lived. He's not far away, so he races over in his car, picks me up, and we go to look for her. I then see his phone in the cradle and their wedding photo is his phone background. He starts to ask me questions and why Anna is not at her mum's where he thought she was.
That's actually shocking. I mean, obviously cheating, yeah, as a whole is just terrible and it just shouldn't be done at all. But obviously it does go on and yeah, it shouldn't be condoned whatsoever. But the fact that he did it so often and so continuous, and obviously so blatantly, so obviously this woman here, Pia, and I don't know if it was as obvious to Pia's other housemate that this bloke was cheating on his girlfriend. But obviously his girlfriend literally just seems so innocent. You know, she'd come in from the gym, wash his sheets after he just cheated on her. Like, how did he not get caught? How did she find out as well that he's cheating on her, or is she just speaking on suspicion? It's crazy. Didn't speak to her for 8 weeks despite living in the same house. Like, 8 weeks is a fairly long time, especially if you was on speaking terms with that person previously. But the fact that they're living together as well in supposedly university in a confined area, confined living space, they didn't speak for 8 weeks. Just it's a high level of awkwardness, I guess, from that. And this all spewed from her boyfriend cheating on her, which shouldn't have happened really in the first place.